The ancient Greek philosopher Plato once said, "Life is just a series of choices." And in this episode of our series, we'll be exploring a fascinating set of choices made by an ancient group known as the Pythagoreans. Their choices were both philosophical and mathematical, and they continue to influence our thinking today. So let's get started. Our story begins in the 6th century BC in the Greek city of Croton. It was here that a philosopher named Pythagoras, after whom the Pythagorean is named, gathered a group of like-minded individuals who were interested in exploring the nature of reality. They were a bit of a secretive bunch, much like the Freemasons or the Illuminati, with some historians claiming they engaged in some hocus-pocus, like wearing special robes and performing bizarre rituals. But what sets them apart is that they were the first to lay the foundations of what we now call mathematics. But why do we care about this obscure sect from ancient Greece? Well, because their exploration of mathematics wasn't just about numbers and shapes. It was deeply intertwined with their religious and philosophical beliefs. They believed that the physical world was nothing but an illusion, a shadow of the real world, which existed in a realm beyond our perception. To understand this, let's take a step back and look at the state of mathematics before the Pythagoreans. At that time, most people saw numbers as abstract symbols, as mere names for specific quantities. For example, the number 3 might have been associated with the trireme, a type of ancient Greek worship with 3 banks of oars on each side. The Pythagoreans changed all of that. They introduced the concept of numbers as abstract concepts that could be used to describe the underlying order of the universe. They believed that numbers weren't just names or symbols, but that they actually represented real entities that existed in the same way that physical objects exist. This led to one of the most famous discoveries in mathematics, the Pythagorean theorem. This theorem states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other 2 sides, or a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Today, this theorem is so ubiquitous that it's almost trivial. But back then, it was a revelation. The Pythagorean realized that this theorem described a fundamental relationship between the sides of a right triangle, a relationship that held true no matter what the actual length of the sides were. This discovery led them to believe that the universe itself was based on mathematical principles, that there was an underlying order to the chaos of the physical world. But their influence went far beyond mathematics. Their ideas had a profound impact on philosophy, music, and even science. For example, the Pythagoreans were among the first to explore the concept of infinity, the idea that there are numbers that never end. They also made significant contributions to the study of harmony and musical ratios, believing that the intervals between musical notes could be expressed as ratios of whole numbers. This led to the development of music theory and the construction of musical scales. However, not everyone was a fan of the Pythagorean. Some of their ideas were controversial, to say the least. One of the most famous Pythagorean, a guy named Hippasus, got kicked out of the group for discovering that the square root of 2 is irrational. In other words, it can't be expressed as a ratio of 2 whole numbers. This went against the Pythagorean belief that all numbers were rational and that the universe was based on mathematical laws. In the end, The Pythagorean didn't just lay the foundations of mathematics. They changed the way we think about the universe. They showed that the physical world we experience is just a tiny part of something much bigger, that there's an underlying order to the cosmos that can only be understood through mathematics. Their ideas may be controversial, but their influence is undeniable. So the next time you look up at the night sky or listen to a piece of music, remember the Pythagoreans, the ancient Greek philosophers who dared to ask, what is the world really? Now it's time to make a choice. Do you want to keep learning about the fascinating world of mathematics and science? If so, then why not check out our other videos? We've got everything from the secrets of the human body to the mysteries of the cosmos. There's something for everyone. So click that subscribe button and join the fun. Who knows where your journey of discovery will take you next?